Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Gather community and our latest and greatest creator spotlight video. And today we have Erika Gimbel. And as her name says, Erika Gimbel MFT. Erika will explain what that is and who she is and what she does. But I want to just say before I let her do that, that Erika is a light. She is she's a light because she's pure energy. Right? What Erika brings, I know, I'm sure you love that. What Erika brings to every meeting, conversation, community, like party is fun and light. And then you can get deeper and know that Erika has understanding. So those are all the things that I think of when I think of Erika Gimbel. So Erika, I want you to then tell the video watchers here, like where you came from, what you like, tell us all your juicy details. Go ahead.
Thank you, Tracy. What a wonderful way to introduce me. And I love you. I'm so appreciative of you and all your amazingness and all you've created. Today is kind of an exciting day because a podcast I was on, a real live podcast, not one of my podcasts, but it's still live, but a podcast I was on that's audio with Michelle Walters and Cynthia Bartlebister is getting released today.
Yay, exciting.
It's all connected. I love that name of that podcast. That's on like Spotify and all the other places. And am I allowed to say that on the air right now?
Yeah, it's all done. So just keep going, my friend.
Okay. Well, so I got to speak with them and that will be released today. So hot off the press, that's happening. And this whole idea that it's all connected, it really is all connected. So when you say everything you just said about me, I'm like, oh, you get me. And, that is really where I appreciate that is my genius is being a light.
Yeah.
Shining
so
a light.
For people who haven't met you and don't know kind of what you do and how you got here, give them a little background.
Okay. I'll do it. So I am a longtime massage therapist from New York State licensed massage therapist. And I am a over a decade now, psychotherapist, holistic focused psychotherapist here in the Bay Area. And I'm from New York, and I got exposed to healing when I was in college, university, and I was in a holistic approach to wellness focused program for 2 years. And that like planted the seeds for all these ways that I love to.
So what does that mean when you say that you have a holistic focus for your therapy work?
Yeah. So when I was in this program in Burlington, Vermont, our late teacher, she just passed a year ago. It was called Holistic Approaches to Wellness, holistic with a WHO. And we just all dove in as a community and got into, all different healing practices from all different avenues. And it was like we were getting to have a taste of all these different ways of healing. Some were more accepted, some were more alternative, some were very misunderstood in the allopathic community. So anyway, I just really love that. And then in New York, to support my theater habit, I became a massage therapist. And then a friend got me jazzing about somatic psychotherapy. And there was a specific program out here in the Bay Area that I dove into. And since then, I've been being the healer therapist that I have been working with people with neurological issues and neurological degenerative issues like Parkinson's and MS and cerebral palsy and seizures. And then I work with creative types and, and during the pandemic, I've really gotten to offer workshops and classes and offerings that were helping to bring people together on Zoom because that was safer and just enjoying how we come together and heal ourselves in community.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, I mean, so I'm breaking all the rules, like don't say and but I'm gathering my thoughts here to say there's so many ways that we can take charge of our own healing powers.
Yes.
And I loved helping support that and guiding support for that. So if somebody, and I'm seeing a big uptake in my work as a therapist, like something about the end of summer, getting into fall is, people are like, I need to come back and work with you. And I'm like, yes, come. And something about that, like I'm seeing a big surge right now with people wanting to get support. And that's really what therapy is about, is like, how can you be supported and less suffering? Less suffering. That's the thing. People are suffering. And so how therapy, actual therapy with a therapist is the opportunity to shine a light on places you didn't know that you didn't know that you didn't know. And with compassion and care, finding those spaces where there can be openings, openings for grace, openings for less hard on oneself.
Well, and the way that I see that with you, I mean, obviously I haven't worked with you as a therapist, but in a community situation or in a place where you're leading a workshop or an activity, I see that. And then the way that you allow people to figure that out for themselves so they can take it with them, right? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of how the holistic thing really ends up being super juicy is, okay, you can go to therapy and talk through everything, but if you have some sort of tool, and that physical tool is so valuable to be able to take it away with you and kind of manage your own self in the in-between times, and especially just as you go along the whole journey itself.
Yeah. It's all about regulating. How are we regulating? And self-care. I am a huge self-care person myself. And then, like, how is this person's nervous system going right now? What are they all rattled or somewhere in between?
Yes.
Or, and then finding the ways to resource, ground, support, feel safety. That's like a big ABC in my work.
Huge. And I can't remember who I was talking with and whether it was about me or whether it was about like my kids, but the idea of kind of down regulating your nervous system just as a statement, like and then how do you do that? Right? How do you get from this to somewhere less than that?
The reason why you want to regulate from that, that's kind of like almost fight, flight, or freeze, freeze. And the reason why you would want to come down from those overactivated places, or freeze is like as if you're dead,
Right.
The reason why is because the brain cannot process information when there's too much over or under, hypo or hyper. And so it helps the brain come back online to be able to problem solve and to go, oh, I haven't eaten today, or I'm sleep deprived, or everything's going to look a little wonky because I'm sleep deprived, or figuring it out, being able to figure out that there's something going on.
Right. Recognizing that there is even anything you can do about the fact that you don't feel good right now, and what can you do about it? And so what can you do about it, and where did it come from? And therefore, what can you do about it? Right. So there's kind of those two, like the immediate and getting to kind of the root, and then being able to change.
The core wounds. That's one way of a focus in therapy. And the other way is to see what's in your way to going towards your whole and complete self. So, and like moving the obstacles out of the way. So it's like, oh, I got that clarity, or I can go for that completion, or I can go for that, that inner knowing, that inner wisdom knowing.
I just had a thought about, I work a lot with people on making sure that their goals are clear, right? And the fact that you can't get to what you're trying to accomplish if you don't have a clear goal and a clear path to get there. And all of a sudden, I just realized that really that's kind of what you're talking about too, is, if you want to be in the world in a certain way, you have to know what that looks like, because you can't, like, you might be, or you might just be, somewhere where you don't want to be. But if you don't know where you want to go, how are you going to make the shift, right? How are you going to go down that other path? We were talking earlier about the path to wellness, and the path to health is a lifelong journey, right? It's a long time thing. But if you don't know what that looks like, you can't possibly know that you're going in the right direction, or really make choices that are going to serve you. So, setting that intention is so important. And it sounds like that's, what you're talking about.
Yeah, going deep to get yourself organized so you can do all those goal setting. The coaching kind of realm is very much like goals and steps and vision and mission. And I mean, that's exciting too. And this is like going in the ocean deep, to figure out the sufferings that keep showing up, the patterns. Yeah.
Good. Well, and I know that we were talking earlier about some things that you have that you're putting together now, and that's very kind of physically related to the work. Obviously the work that you do is both mental and physical, but using those physical tools. So talk a little bit about what that is. One of the kickoffs for that is going to be this partner workshop that you're doing with us here in early November. But I know I'm so excited, the partner workshops that we get to do with the Gather Community creators and contributors. It's so fun. It's great for me because I get to go to every single one, which is super fun. I don't miss a thing. And, I really would encourage everyone else to not miss a thing either, because each individual like yourself who is sharing their wisdom this is stuff. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. This is something that you are in that mastery zone, and you're just like, here, learn from me, because it will help you. It'll help you in your life. That might help you in your business. That might help you with your relationships. So talk a little bit about what that, that workshop, that collection of series of things that you're working on is going to look like.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll touch upon, the easiest way to figure it all out is just to go to the Gather Community website, make sure you're a member, and then, you can see all my offerings, and also my website. I have everything is there.
We'll have the links for all of that with
yeah. So just this idea of the simplest and littlest things, and creating a course that's around your tune-up, your inner knowing tune-up for how you're doing, and how can you reset if you need a reset, or get back online your nervous system, your neocortex, your new brain, if it's been hijacked by life stresses. So this is what this thing I'm putting together, this online course, really. We've had a couple of in-person classes that were called Massage for Your Pod. And it was so cool and just very informative for me as I'm creating what I'm creating. I have now twice a month this offering called Brainworks. And so people come together and we mastermind what's going on. Sometimes I bring a tool to share that's somatic, wisdom focused. So somatic is just a fancy word for your body, cells of your body. So a somatic wisdom download that we practice together. And so our last Brainworks was yesterday. The next one will be September 26th at 11 a.m. Pacific. And this idea of bringing in mastery for self-care. Maybe this is the title, Mastery for Self-Care. And self-care, especially now, where our eyes are so much on the computer, reading, tracking, reading, computer generated energy. So it's like bringing the energy into yourselves and slowing it down to find what's happening here in this organism. So I have lots of different things to share about that, whether it's a movement protocol that will actually be your own kind of massage to yourself, or whether it's learning how to be a person that can give and receive touch to another. Like our pods are very odd in these times, right? Our home pods. So that's what I've been creating and finding a lot of excitement to put together. And I'm so inspired by previous courses from some of our comrades in our community. And so I'm so honored that I'm getting mentorship for how to put these things together. So it's going to be great. I'll have pre-sales. What is it called when you have a pre-sale of something?
Pre-publication.
Yes, pre-publication. For my pre-publication sales.
Dr. Katerina Rando.
Right. Yes, pre-publication. And this is an invitation to come dance with me, come play with me. I have different offerings for how I do that, and everyone's invited. And then you can kind of see what you feel called for further work, whether it's individual or whether it's coming to my classes or it's having a consult for what could be your vertical garden situation. I play with people in different ways. So it's an honor and a privilege, all of it. And all of it is under this umbrella of holistic approaches to wellness, holistic therapy.
Yeah, love it. Well, and what's great is, this video isn't, this is not live. We're recording this. It's going to live in the world for a long time. You might share this out to kind of say, hey, oh my gosh, back in September, and maybe it's next February that you're like, hey, back in September, Tracy and I were talking about this. And the good news is you've been doing this for a long time and you're not stopping anytime soon. So even though we're referencing things in like September and November and all of that, there's probably still something coming up that
October.
Right, in October, there's probably something still coming up, regardless of when whoever is watching this, that will have the links to your website and your socials and all that stuff here with the video. And of course, on your landing page here at the Gather community, on our website. And so, there's always something to be found, regardless of when this actually gets seen, because we all will see it at the time that's right for us.
And just this one little final takeaway for people going, what is this thing, this somatic? Oh, and sorry, there's some kind of a just as a fun experiment, try this with me, Miss Tracy, of just like at your shoulders, bilateral tapping, and you can slow it down or you can make it as fast as you like. And if you're feeling a little jacked up about whatever is going on for yourself or in the world, and just see, take some breaths. I have people who at the end of their session, they say goodbye to me by going like this, because they use this like I'm doing, and just see how this helps your right, left brain hemispheres and coming down off of whatever you're jacked up about.
Yeah. And because if you don't have a practice, you might not even recognize that there's something you can do about how you're feeling. Right. So connecting with you is all about recognizing that you can feel good. Even if you don't feel good right now, you can. And that maybe what Erika's tool is going to be the thing that flips a switch for you. You never know.
Amen.
Yeah.
I welcome you. I welcome you to come play with me. And it's such an honor to talk with you today. I feel better after talking to you, Tracy.
Great. I love talking with you too, my friend. And I'm really excited to be able to share this and your upcoming stuff with all of our community and with all the people out there in the world. And we will see you again super soon.
All right. Take good care. Bye.
Oh.